tell, then you see the road. I'm out to my soul into the size whenever the smoke clear out of my face and my picture perfect. Do it. All of that green together, the truth, yeah. Tell you the.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to Cypherfics. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the third part of, What If Danny Phantom Meets Mario? Special note, this fanfic is written and a masterpiece of Phantom Fan 21 on FANFICTIONnet. Do check and support the author too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. Bowsette sat on her throne looking very sad. About an hour ago, Danny was taken back home. Many of her guards and castle staff notices and try to cheer her up. But nothing works. Bowsette just looks at the ground already missing him but knew she couldn't take him away from those he cares about. "Princess, you could have him stay here," Kamek told her. "No, I can't take him from his loved ones. It's not fair to him," she said sadly. "Princess, please. Just go back and," Kamek started to say. "No," she roars. Bowsette stood up and looks at Kamek with her anger replacing her sadness. "Danny has a home and family waiting for him. I may let him stay here but he was homesick and worry about his town for a long time. He's been away long enough," she shouted as her anger turned back into sadness. "He saw me as a person. He loves me as someone, not something," she said looking down. Kamek sighs. It was clear, she was in love with him so much she felt empty without him around. But she wanted him to be happy. "Princess, it's clear that you are missing him, even though he has been gone for an hour. Sounds like you wanted to keep him here no matter what," he said. Bowsette blinks and quickly knew what she was thinking. Her love for Danny was so great that she wanted to focus on her happiness. Not his or anyone else. She shook her head. She was not going to be that type of girl. "I miss him, Kamek. But I will not take him from the things he loves. Besides, I told him he could come back and visit whenever he likes," she said. Kamek blinks and sighs. Bowsette then looks at the clock and started to walk away. "Princess. Where are you going?" Kamek asked. "To practice a new spell I came up with. I still got a few kinks to work out," she said and left the room. Spell? She's still trying to unlock her star power, Kamek thought. Danny returns home and thanks the guards for the lift. He walks down the street and saw many people reading the newspaper. He saw one and grabs it and reads the title. Town still blames Danny Phantom, ghost attack brought him back early. A few days ago, an army of ghosts attacked the town, and while the local ghost hunters Jack and Maddie Fenton, as well as the Red Huntress, fought them off until Danny Phantom and the girl that attacked the town appears and aids them in their fight. After driving the ghost army away, the town people once again blame Phantom for the attack, but the girl that attacked the town long before the army did stand up for him and told them that he has been with the whole time and never let him out of his sight. It was last heard that the girl and Danny Phantom left the town due to the deal they had in place. And now the question remains, will Danny Phantom been seen as a hero or a villain? Danny sighs. He really hopes the town would understand that he's a hero. He sets the paper down and headed home. Danny reaches it and opens the door. He looks around and smiles. He has been in the castle for so long, he almost forgot what it was like to return to a normal house. Well, as normal as his family is. Mom, Dad, Jazz. I'm home. He calls out. He soon saw his sister at the top of the stairs, shocked to see him. He saw her rubs her eyes as if making sure she was seeing things correctly. Yeah, Jazz, I'm here. You're not seeing things. Unless I turn invisible. Danny smiles. Jazz's face turns from a shocked look to a very happy look. Danny! She shouted running downstairs and jumps on her brother, knocking them both to the floor. "It's good to see you too, Jazz." He laughs. "Danny?" Danny and Jazz sat up and saw their parents. Danny smiles and stood up. "Hi, Mom." "Hi, Dad." "Miss me?" he asked with a smirk. He was hugged by both of his parents and Danny hugs them back. "So Danny, how did the princess treat you? Did she make sure you were taken care of?" Maddie asked. "Did you tell her everything about ghosts?" Jack added. Danny just laughs. "Bowsette took good care of me." "Sorry, Dad. We were getting along so well that ghosts completely slipped my mind." Danny said. "Danny, they know now, remember?" Jazz told him. "Sorry, force of habit," Danny said. The Fenton headed to the kitchen to talk about Danny having ghost powers and how proud his parents were of him using them to keep others safe from the more dangerous ghosts. The next day, Danny woke up and got out of bed. He then stops and looks down but didn't see the tail around him. "Man, I must have gotten used to seeing Bowsette's tail around me that I thought I was still at the castle. I hope she's holding up okay. Maybe I'll visit her later." Danny thought before heading to his shower. After getting clean up and getting his breakfast, which Danny almost thought that Bowsette was going to join him before remembering he was home, he decides to go surprise Sam and Tucker. After informing his parents of his plans, Danny headed outside and started to head to the Nasty Burger. It wasn't long before he almost ran into someone. "Mr. Fenton." Danny looks up and was surprised to see Ms. Wiccan in front of him. Her kiss was still fresh in his mind. "Ms. Wiccan. I didn't see you," he said, getting that feeling to get away from her. "It's okay. Welcome home. When did you get back?" she asked. "Yesterday," Danny said. Thanks to Bowsette and her lessons, Danny no longer blush or shudder near his teacher. "Really? Why have you told anyone?" she asked, trying to keep her anger under control. "I miss my family. I wanted to be with them for the day," he said. "I see. Well, I'll see you later, Mr. Fenton," Ms. Wiccan said. Danny watches his teacher walks away and Danny couldn't help but to felt something was up with her. Once Rachel walks around the corner, her smile gave way to a growl. "Unbelievable. He returns yesterday and he didn't tell me?" she thought before taking a breath. "Well, he did say he misses his family. It's only fair that he sees them again. But soon he'll be all mine," Rachel thought and smiles. At Bowsette's castle. Bowsette woke up and could feel her tail trying to grab something. She turns to the empty side of her bed and knew that Danny was no longer there. She stood up and got dressed. She misses Danny, but she was going to continue to be a princess and not let her sadness get her down. After all, it's not like she'll ever see him again. She ate her breakfast and took her bath. Her warm water felt cold without Danny there. But she took a breath and just relax. She looks up and the ceiling and sighs. "I can do this. I love him and I want him to be happy," she told herself. After her bath, she sat on her throne as Kamek steps up. Princess. You got a visitor," he said. "A visitor?" Bowsette asked, trying to not get her hope up just yet. Kamek could see who she was hoping for and hate to break her hope but had to. "It's Prince Kemple," he said. Bowsette groans loudly. She hated Prince Kemple. He would always come and try to marry her. Plus, he was stupid and way too bossy with her staff. As much as she wanted to turn him away, she couldn't. "Let him in," she said. Kamek nodded. And sighs. He nods at the guards and they opened the door to let in a young man with blonde hair and green eyes. He was wearing a prince uniform and had a crown on his head. He steps up and bows to Bowsette. "Princess, it's so good to be in your appealing glare again," he said. "What do you want, Kem?" Bowsette said, leaning on one of her fists. I come bearing news. First, I'm sad to say that my parents have passed. Prince Kemple said. Bowsette sighs, she might not like Kemple but his parents were much better than their son. My condolences. She said. Thank you. But I do have good news. Kemple said. Bowsette raises an eyebrow, wondering what plan he had this time. Due to being the sole heir, I was crowned king of my kingdom. He said. Bowsette just looks at him, waiting for him to get to the point. I have chosen my queen and I would like. No. Kemple stops and looks at Bowsette in surprise. What? He asked. I said no. I'm not going to marry you, Kem. My answer is the same, no, I won't be your queen. I'm sorry for your loss, but just because you became king doesn't mean that I like you. Now if you're done wasting my time, there's the front door. She said. But, Prince Kemple tries to say. My heart already belongs to someone else. And it's not you. Now leave. Bowsette said. What? Who had stolen your heart? Kemple asked her. Not telling. She said before standing up. Take him towards the front gates. Our meeting is done. Bowsette told the lead guard. He nodded and grabs Kemple. Get your hands off me. He shouted before turning back to Bowsette. I didn't become king just so you could do me off. Why don't you understand we were meant for each other? Kemple yelled. Bowsette stops before turning around and punches him in the face. Kemple fell to the ground and covered his face. He looks up as she saw Bowsette standing above him. We were never meant for each other. You are the stupidest prince I have ever met. I don't like you, I never did. So leave my castle and never return. I will never be your queen. Bowsette shouted before grabbing him by his shirt. And if you ever show your face in my kingdom again, I will show you why the word terror is part of my title. She grows and threw him back on the ground. Bowsette walks away, ignoring the prince behind her. There is only one that will be my king. Even if he's not a prince. She thought. Danny enters at the Nasty Burger and saw Sam and Tucker sitting at their table. Is this table open? He asked, making them turn to him. Danny. Sam said and hugged him. Welcome home, dude. Tucker said, joining them. Thanks, guys, sorry for not telling you earlier. I wanted to be with my family. He told them. That's cool, Tucker said as the three sat down. The three spend the whole time talking and catching up. Danny told them that he ran into Ms. Wiccan earlier. Speaking of which. What are you going to do with her? Tucker asked. Well, Bowsette decides to help me to ignore her advances and refuse any move she tries on me. I'm no longer shocked at her beauty or shudder when she comes near me. Danny said. Because Bowsette is way more appealing than Ms. Wiccan. He added in thought. So you're not going to tell anyone? Sam asked. As of now, no. But if it becomes too much, then yeah. I will. Danny said. The three got their food and sat and ate. After they were done, Sam had to head home because she was still grounded, but it was lightened up a bit. Tucker also had to head home and waves goodbye. Danny walks down the street before he stops. You are been too much like a stalker. He said. Apologize, Mr. Fenton. Rachel said as she steps out from behind a tree. Is there something you want? Danny asked her. Yes, I wish to say I'm sorry for what happened a week ago. I didn't know what came over me. She said. Danny looks at her and sighs. Okay then. You understand why I ran, right? It sort of creeps me out. Danny said. Yes, I see that now. By the way, I was wondering if you could help me with something. Rachel said. With what? Danny asked. It better if I show you. She said. Sorry, but I need to head home. Maybe another time. Danny said, the feeling of running from her surfacing again. Oh, I see. Rachel said sadly. Danny sighs and turns away. He didn't take a step before he felt something cover his mouth and nose. The smell very strong and he couldn't fight it. Danny passes out and Rachel held him up. I'm so sorry. But I can't let you leave just yet. Rachel said and placed Danny in her car. Rachel took out his phone and texted his parents, letting them know that Danny was heading to Ms. Wiccan's place to help out with something. After hitting send, she drove towards her house. Danny opens his eyes to see he was laying in a bed, but it wasn't his bed. He felt a pair of arms around him and thought for a second that it was Bowsette before not feeling the tail around him. He turns and saw his teacher in bed with him. He started to pull away, but she pulls him back. Before Danny could think about using his powers to break free, he was pulled into a kiss. Rachel broke it and opens his eyes. Morning, dear. She said. Ms. Wiccan. What did we just? Danny tries to ask. Oh, no. I wouldn't do it when you are sleeping. I want you to enjoy every minute of it when awake. She said before getting on top of Danny. Ms. Wiccan, please. Danny said, pushing her back. Please, just call me Rachel. He said, moving Danny's hands to her melons. Danny fought off the blush that was started to form and phase himself through her. Danny looks down and saw that he was in his boxers. Rachel turns around and gave Danny a clear view of her body. She was in her underwear, but Danny tries not to focus on that. Look, Rachel. We can't do this. I'm 14 and you're 28. It's wrong. Danny said. Come now, no one will know. Just stay here with me. She said. Why me? Out of all the guys, why me? Danny asked her. Oh, it started on the first day we meet. I thought you were a cute boy and very smart. But when you told me about how the A-listers were treating you and the teachers didn't stop them, I couldn't believe how the school was acting. Rachel said. What about your school? You said you exposed them. Danny asked. I did, and they pay for it. The new teachers didn't turn a blind eye, and no matter how much they pay them, the teachers always stop the bullies. Something that's going to happen in your school when summer is over. Rachel said before Cecily walking up to Danny. There's another reason I think you're one. Besides being the cuteness boy I even meant, I always wanted to be a wife one day. I just had to find the right husband. But every boy and man I met didn't seem like a husband for me. Then there's you are kind, heroic, and funny. All the things I was looking for. Danny, I want you, and now we have each other and no one is going to take that from me. She said and pulled him in another hug. Once you're older enough, we'll get married and have children. We'll stay together for the rest of our lives. Rachel added as she presses Danny's face in her breast and slide his hair. Danny thought her again and face her. What? He shouted. She got to be kidding. He thought in shock. Oh, and don't worry, I won't tell anyone about your powers. Rachel said. Danny then facepalms, he just showed his powers twice to her. He had to figure a way out of this. Come now, Danny, there are many things I like for us to do. Rachel said and grabs Danny's arm. Wait. Danny tries to saw before he was pulled away. Bowsette Castle. Bowsette sat in her tub and sighs. She couldn't believe that Prince Kemple was trying to marry her. She couldn't believe that he was trying to make her his queen. She would rather deal with her perv guards than him. Speaking of which, Bowsette thought before taking a breath. You all have 5 seconds to beat it before I do my lid. She shouted and soon hear the sound of feet running. Grr, stupid morons. Always spying on me during my bath time. I think it time to lay some rules around here. She growls before standing up. She grabs a towel and opens the door. Everyone. Front and center now. She yelled as her guards and staff stood in front of her. Listen up, I just about had it with you spying on me during my bath time. So here what is going to happen, if I caught any of you spying on me again, you will be scrubbing the castle with a toothbrush and you'll be doing it for a whole year. She shouted. Bowsette then lets go of her towel and saw her staff look away. She saw half of her guards either looked away or just stare at her. Kamek just stood there shocked. Take a good long look, because this the last time you see me like this. Now for the ones staring at me, go clean the chain chomp pens. I heard that we are getting more puppies and there needs to be more room. She said. Everyone flinches in fright as the chain chomps were the royal dogs that the king got as a child. They were lovable but very scary dogs that only liked the king, queen, and princess more than anyone else. Not to mention they had about 20 chain chomps, and with more puppies on the way, clearing the pens was about to get harder. Bowsette watches her guards and walks away and turns to Kamek. Don't even think about it. She warned him as she picks up the towel and went back to her bath. Bowsette sits back in and sighs. She was really tired of those perv guards. She knew Danny didn't mind seeing her body. She wanted to feel his warmth again, but her spell wasn't ready. 2 more days, just 2 more and I can have it ready. Then I'll surprise Danny. She thought with a smile. Back at Rachel's place. Danny was caught in a huge hug and Rachel was kissing him all over his face. Danny tries to pull away, but she wouldn't let go. Don't ever think about using your power, she said before kissing him again. Finally, Rachel broke free and smiles. There, almost there. Just a little more and then we go to the main event, she said, rubbing her panties on Danny's boxers. Rachel, please, stop, he said. What's wrong? Ain't you enjoy this? Rachel asked with a smile. No, please Danny tries to stay before he tries to stop a groan from escaping. Oh, you are enjoy this. That's good, she said before taking her bra off. I can't wait any longer. I want you, Danny, she said pressing her melons in Danny's face. Rachel then reaches down and pulls Danny's boxers down and started to jerk his member. Danny could felt it and pushes her off him and on the floor. Ms. Wiccan, that is enough, he shouted. I'm 14 for crying out loud. You're my teacher. I don't like you like that, Danny shouted. That's a lie, Rachel said softly before standing and pushed Danny back on her couch. That's a lie. We are meant for each other. I love you, Danny, and no one can have you. Not Ms. Madison, not that princess, no one. You are mine, she shouted. Danny blinked surprised to see her so angry. Rachel then stops and took a deep breath. She looks at Danny with a cute smile on her face, but he didn't like it. So sorry. I didn't mean to yell. Just forget about it, she said. Danny blinks before he felt Rachel rub her pee-pee on his member. Danny looked down and saw that she must have taken off her panties at some point. She kept rubbing as she as if he was her. Danny, listen. Stay with me, let's be together forever. Let's be husband and wife, she said. Miss Wiccan, Danny started to say before she places a finger on his lips. No, no, I'm not Miss Rachel Wiccan anymore. I'm now Mrs. Rachel Fenton. And I think it's time for the main event, she said. Before Danny could stop her, Rachel lifts herself up, put his pee-pee near her pee-pee, and sat back down with it in her. Rachel in pleasure as stars almost appear in eyes. She couldn't believe how big he was, and even better, it reaches her WMB. Danny couldn't believe what she did. He was about to pull away before Rachel started to move up and down. Oh. Yes. That's the spot. Take me. I'm all yours. Rachel shouted as she did Danny's PP. Danny could only flinch each time she sat back down. He didn't like this at all, he knew he was being done by his teacher. Rachel then looks down at him and kept moving before telling him something. I forget to mention, I know you are dannyphantom. Do this with me every day and every hour or I'll the whole world how you are. She said. Danny's eyes widened and could feel Rachel moving faster. One more thing, tell anyone about this and I'll tell everyone about your secret. And your parents gave you permission to stay here for the night. She added. Danny could only stare at her in shock but flinches as she continues to ride him. Danny could feel that was started to lose it but kept fighting back down. He already has a girlfriend and he knew this could be trouble if she found out. Rachel keeps moving and could feel that Danny was started to become close. This it? Oh yes, I'm going to have his child. She thought before moving ever faster. Danny couldn't stop and before he knew it, he leaks inside her. Rachel let out a cry of pleasure as she felt Danny shoot wave after wave of juices in her. Once Danny stopped she looks down and smiles. Thank you. I can't wait to have your child. But let's keep going. She said and started to move again. No. I can't do this. But if I try to get away, she'll tell my secret. It. Bowsette, help. Danny thought as Rachel did him. Back at Bowsette Castle. Bowsette enters her room and lets her towel drop. She climbs in bed and just lays there naked. She closes her eyes and thought back to the last night she and Danny slept together. She couldn't get over how Danny just F her like crazy, all those positions, all the juices they had. She was able to hold in so much of his juices she looks prgnant when he finally ran out. She had him help her to the bathroom which she had one installed in her room because she didn't want to get any more juices on her bed. It was a bit awkward as each step made Danny move in her again. Once they reach her toilet, she stood over it and had Danny slowing pull himself out. Bowsette before opens her eyes and looked down to see that she had her fingers in her PP, as if she thought Danny was F her again. She sighs and just lays back and lets it go. She really misses Danny and she really hopes that he'll like her surprise. But, for some reason, her star power was acting kind of strange. Almost as if it was in pain and call for help. Danny groans as he opens his eyes and felt an arm around him. He turns and saw Rachel sleeping next to him. He quickly recalls everything she did to him. She did him throughout the whole night. Claiming that she was practicing on getting used to having SEC with him. Danny didn't care, he phased out of her arms, grabs his clothes, and flew as fast as he could from her house. Danny flew until he was out of town and over the sea. He soon saw the castle and flew into Bowsette's room. Bowsette nearly screams before Danny hugs her, crying. Danny? She asked. Danny just cries as Bowsette hugs him back. After 10 minutes, Danny calms down enough to tell her what happened to him yesterday. Bowsette was shocked to hear that. Danny was RPE by his teacher and the reason he didn't use his powers was that he was trying not to show too much of them. She wants me to marry her and have kids. She doesn't know about my star power and how I don't want any kids. Bowsette, she worse than I thought. She is obsessed with me. He said. Bowsette growls. The teacher was trying to take Danny against his will. She didn't like it. Danny, stay here for a day or two. I'll send a note to your parents. This can't be ignored. She said. Danny nodded and Bowsette helps him get into some new clothes. She let him lay down in her bed and informed Kamek of what happened. Kamek felt bad for Danny and followed his princess orders. Soon the note was made and was sent to his parents. Bowsette returns to her room and found Danny has passed out. She was really angry at the teacher. But as of now, Danny needs her. She leans forward and kisses his forehead. Don't worry, Danny. Your teacher will never harm you again. She whispers. Princess. Prince Kemple is here again. A guard said through the door. Bowsette growls and looks at Danny. Take a good rest. I'll be right back. She said. Bowsette stood in her throne room shocked to hear what other kingdoms had told her. Are you kidding me? She shouted. Princess, you know the rules. If a prince asked you hand in marriage, you have to accept it. One of the kings said. No, I don't. I don't like him and I'll never will. She shouted again. The law is clear, you have to, the king started to say. F the law. Bowsette shouted. I won't marry him. He doesn't care about my kingdom. She added. Princess. You have to. The king said again. No, if don't. She shouted. Why? Why do you refuse me so much? Don't you know your father has signed me to be wed to you? Kemple asked. By what proof? Before my father's passing, he told me that a Koopa can do whatever we want. That means I can refuse to marry you. Bowsette told them. Princess, the king started. I already got a boyfriend. She shouted, shocking the other rulers. What? They shouted. Yes, I have a boyfriend. He just threw a horrible ordeal last night and I'm letting him stay here for a few days to recover. I'm having a note being sent to his parents to inform them of what happened to him. Bowsette told them. What kind of ordeal? A queen asked. His teacher has a thing for him and he's half her age. She just did him last night. Bowsette explains. Is he okay? The queen asked. He really shook up but he's going fine the last I check, Bowsette said. Hey, I thought we were in the middle of something. Kemple said. Kem, no matter how hard you try, you will never have my hand in marriage. Besides, I already chose someone. Bowsette told him. But. He tries to say. Now, if you don't mind. I need to check on my boyfriend. He has a rough day after just getting back home to his family. Bowsette said and turns to walk away. Kemple couldn't take it anymore, he rushes up and grabs Bowsette's arm. That's it. I am done with this. You are going to marry me as your father wanted. He yelled. Get your hands off me, Bowsette shouted and pulls away. Guards. Remove this man from my castle. She orders. Kemple growls and grabs Bowsette before slamming her on the wall. Bowsette growls before Kemple kiss her. Her eyes widen and pushing him off. Kemple. What the F? She shouted. There, that means you can't refuse now. He said. Wrong. My boyfriend already kisses me and he has taken me as well. Bowsette told him. Taken you. Kemple shouted. It appears that we can't stop her from refusing now. She's a Koopa. She got what she wanted. The queen said. No. She going to be my queen. I didn't get this far just to be denied. Kemple shouted. Princess. A guard said bowing to her. Yes. She said. Danny is awake is heading to the royal dining room. He claims to be hungry after the night he had. The guard said. Very well, I'll join him shortly, Bowsette said. Danny? The king asked. Yes, Dannyphantom. She said. The ruler's eyes widen at that. They all heard of Dannyphantom. Many of his heroic feats were impressive. But hearing that he was dating Bowsette was a great surprise. How? Kemple asked. I fought him in Amity Park then had him here to finish our fight. I then learned that the town was treating him as a villain instead of a hero. So, to show the town how foolishly they were, he stays here with me for a week and we end up falling for each other. Bowsette said. She looks at her guards with a glare to warn them they better stay out of this before turning to Kemple. The only reason I'm not marrying him is because he's only 14. I love him more than I love you. She added. No. Hero or not, you are to be my queen. That's the law. Kemple said. Who cares about the law? I can choose who I want and it's not you. Bowsette said and turns to walk away. Then I challenge dannyphantom to a duel. Kemple said, stopping her. What? Bowsette shouted. The winner gets your heart and you have to marry them. Kemple said. Are you stupid? Bowsette yells and stomps up to him. He's still recovering from the ordeal he just had. And what makes you think you can beat him? Bowsette said, knowing that the rulers had no idea that Danny was the second star child. Fine, he has 3 days, Kemple said and stomps out of the castle. Oh, that's stupid, no good, son of a, Bowsette growls. Bowsette then yells and releases her fire in the air. She hated Kemple and he didn't get that through his head. The rest of the rulers left and Bowsette stomps towards the dining room. Danny eats his food, last night still in his mind. He woke up from a nightmare where he was not only married to Rachel but they did have a child, and the worst part. Danny was forced into it. All the ghost fights he has been in, heck, even the fight with Dan with a better dream than being married to his own teacher. He looks up and saw Bowsette stomps in and sat down in a huff. Is everything all right? Danny said carefully. Spyad moron. She shouted, causing Danny to jump. Bowsette notices and took a breath. Sorry, Danny. But you're not the only one that has to deal with a lovesick person. Bowsette said. What do you mean? Danny asked. Bowsette explains to him about Prince Kemple and the rulers and how Kemple challenges him to a duel for her hand in marriage. He was given 3 days to recover before fighting him. Danny looks at his plate and sighs. He didn't mean to cause Bowsette any trouble. I'm sorry, maybe I shouldn't have come here. He told her. No, it's my fault. I should have let the other kingdoms know we are together. Bowsette sighs. Bowsette, Danny tries to say, but Bowsette leans over and kisses him. It doesn't matter, I don't like Kem that way. Win or lose, I already made my choice. Bowsette said. Danny smiles. He knew that Bowsette was a nice girl. He hugs her and sighs. Bowsette, I know we are too young but win or lose, I will always love you, Danny said. Me too, Bowsette said as they broke. Did you bath yet? She asked. No, I was more hungry when I got up, Danny said. Then let's warm up a bath. And if you are up to it, have our special time, she said. Danny blushes. To tell the truth, he thought Bowsette was 1,000,000 times better than Rachel. And Bowsette would never force him. He tries to stay. You don't have to if you don't want to, Bowsette said. Danny sighs. He wants to forget that night. Plus the last night with Bowsette was surfacing in his mind again. It's fine, it just our last night together is still in my head and I'm a bit afraid of becoming addict to it. Danny said. That's why I have us take breaks. I know we can get carried away and we might end up having a child because of it. We're both too young, though it could get Kem to back off. Bowsette said. Think. Bowsette, Danny sighs. Bowsette just smirks and started to lead Danny to the bath. Plus, I don't like the smell your teacher put over you. That's why I'm having a bath ready for us. She added. Back in Amity Park. Jack Fenton kicks off Rachel's house door and stomps in. Rachel Wiccan. Show yourself or so help me I'll make you a ghost for what you did to my son. He bellows. Maddie rush in, also angry. After that got a note from Danny explaining what happened to him, his parents blew up. They grab a Fenton creep stick which was just a baseball bat with the word Fenton on it and drove straight to Rachel's place. The house was silent as if no one was home. Jack stomps through the house and opens each door but found no sign of the teacher. Maddie on the other hand just stood at the front room, not believing the one person that actually was nice to her son was also a cougar. She did warn her child about those types when they were old enough. And her son was forced into something he clearly wasn't ready for. Jack stomps back to the front room and shook his head. She must have bailed after Danny left, Jack said. I can't believe what she did. Why didn't he tell us? Maddie said. Because he wanted to handle it on his own. The Fenton turns and saw a guard standing behind them. He walks up and sighs. Princess Bowsette has sent me here to watch over the town. I came to inform you that your son is at the princess castle. He going to stay there for a few days to recover from the ordeal. He hopes you understand. He said. Jack and Maddie look at each other and sighs. As much as they wish Danny would to them, he must be scared out of his mind to stay in Amity Park and he just got back home. How long? Maddie asked. 2, maybe 3 days. The guard said. Can you send a message for Danny? Jack asked. Of course. The guard nodded. Tell him, we're sorry for being horrible parents. And not listening to him when we should. Maddie said. The guard nodded and turns to walk away. And one more thing, Jack said, making the guard turn to them. Tell him we are sorry for everything. He said sadly. Danny and Bowsette were in the tub and Bowsette could tell Danny wasn't into it like before. She could felt him thirsting in her but it didn't have the same energy as before. His teacher really made him scared and unsure. She turns around to face Danny and stops him. Danny, don't force yourself into having SEC with me. If you don't want it, then don't do it. She said. Danny looks down and said nothing. Look, how about we just stay close? Once you feel ready then we can have it again. She said. Danny started to say but sighs. I'm sorry. He whispers. Danny, remember this. You made the first move on me and I don't hate you for it. You told me why and I felt bad because I pushed you into it. We have gotten used to it but your teacher didn't think about your feelings. Don't think having SEC with me is going to overcome what Rachel did to you. Though, if I do meet her, I'll teach her once happens if you mess with my boyfriend. Bowsette told him. Danny didn't say anything and just sat there, not even pulling out of Bowsette. Bowsette notices his sad face and hugs him. Danny, you love me as a person and I love you the same way. I'll be there if you need it. She said. Thank you, Danny said as the tears felt form his eyes. 2 days pass and Danny was started to feel better. He still had the nightmare of being married to his teacher, but soon Bowsette started showing up in them and took him away from her and out of her reach. Danny would find himself back at the castle where they would be married and live happily together. Bowsette didn't like Danny out of her sight for those 2 days. She knew that it was going to take a while for him to fully recover from the ordeal he'd just been through. They both sat in the tub as Bowsette leans on him. She was really happy Danny was back, plus her surprise was just about done. But she wanted to save it for later. She snuggles close and sighs. She could no longer smell his teacher on him. Bowsette? Danny spoke up. Yes. She said looking at his eyes. Thank you. I'm really glad to have you. Danny smiles. Bowsette smiles back. For the past 2 days, Danny's smiles felt empty, lifeless. But this time his smile had the same happiness she would see. You're welcome. She said and shared a kiss with him. They broke and just sat there. Bowsette really wanted him to stay but he had to face Rachel at some point. But she wasn't going to let him face her alone. They heard a knock and Bowsette growls. What is it? She asked. Forgive Princess, but Prince Kemple has returned for the duel. The guard said. Bowsette groans, she was just about really to ask Danny if he felt comfortable enough for the special time. She wasn't trying to rush him into it, but she was starting to miss it. Might as well get it over with, Danny said. Bowsette sighs and sat on Danny's lap. Bowsette? He asked, a bit surprised at her boldness. Just one really quick. Please? She asked. Danny blinks and sighs. He looks at her with a smile as his member touches her, making her eep in surprise. I think you know my answer. He said, making her smile. 5 minutes later, Danny and Bowsette walk into the throne room and Bowsette sat on her throne as Danny stood next to it. Prince Kemple looks at Danny and growls. So, you're the one that stole her from me? He asked. Dude, I don't care who you are. Bowsette is a free woman, she's free to choose what she wants. Danny said. Bowsette smiles then turned to Kemple. Listen here Kem, if you try to cheat and I will know if you do, the duel will go to Danny. She told him. Fine, but he's unarmed. Where is his sword? Kemple said. Sword? Danny asked. It being fetched as we speak, Bowsette said before the guards return with the sword. The sword was a shining blade and the handle was black with 2 horns. Kemple knew what the sword was. Your father's sword? You're having him use that? He shouted. Indeed, my father told me that I should let the one I trust and love use this sword and I trust and love Danny. She said and took it. Not to mention the sword was a gift from her mother. She orders a special sword to be crafted before she was born and her father carries it with pride. It was the sigh of their love and now it was going to be the same with her and Danny. She faces Danny and bows, holding the sword out. Danny blinks and grabs the sword. This is a nice sword. But why is Bowsette letting me use it? I know some sword fighting but Kem looks like he's far better. I wish I knew how to sword fight. Danny said. Danny then felt something inside him spark and didn't have time to worry about it for as soon as Bowsette steps away, Kemple charges at Danny. Danny notices and quickly blocks Kemple's sword. Kemple growls and swings again with Danny blocking. Kemple kept swing, but Danny blocks each swing. Danny didn't know what was going on. He was blocking Kemple's attacks as if he knew where he was going to strike next. Bowsette notices and smiles. His wish was granted. Kemple kept trying but Danny blocks all the moves. Finally, Kemple had enough and toss his sword aside and tackle Danny to the wall making him drop the sword. Danny quickly brought both of his hands down on the back of Kemple's neck making him let go. Danny kicks him back before tackling him back. Danny was surprised, he wasn't in his ghost form and he was fighting Kemple with almost ease. Kemple broke free before grabbing Danny's face and threw him to the ground. Bowsette gasps as Danny groans. He pushes himself up before Kemple steps on him to push him back on the ground. Face it. You're not worthy of the princess's love. She is mine. Kemple said. And what do you know? Danny said pull his face up. What? Kemple asked. You see her as a princess and nothing else. Me? I see her as a person. She not just Princess Bowsette. She's also Bowsette Koopa. My girlfriend. Danny shouted and pushed Kemple off him. Kemple almost fell over but recovered in time. Danny rushes over and punches him in the cheek knocking him back. Danny then kicks him making Kemple hit a wall. Danny then started to throw a beatdown on Kemple, ending it with an uppercut and a right cross. Kemple started to pull himself up but Danny reaches down and grabs him before holding him up to his face. Listen here, you bstrd. Danny shouted. When Bowsette said no then that means no. She doesn't like you, she never did. When I stay here for a week I didn't expect to fall in love with her, but we got to know each other and soon saw each other for who we are. You need to get this through your thick skull. She will never love you. He added. Kemple growls and was about to open his mouth but Danny stops him. Bowsette doesn't love you. She doesn't even like you. It bad enough I have to deal with a teacher who wants me to marry her, but you are just trying to force your way onto her because you can't stand of someone else having her. He shouted. You're not a prince. Only a prince can marry a princess. Kemple said. As Bowsette told you 2 days ago, F the law. Danny shouted. As you can see, Kem, Danny knows more about me than you even did. Besides, even if he lost the duel, I would still choose him. Remember, as part of the duel I get to choose my future husband. Danny might be 14, but I love him very much. Once we are old enough, then we'll get married. So the duel is over. Bowsette said. Danny lets go of Kemple and Bowsette smiles. Come on Danny, you must be a bit hungry after that. She said. Yeah, I am, Danny said before taking Bowsette's hand. Guards, remove this man from my kingdom. He is no longer welcome here. She said. Kemple growls and ran up to Danny before pulling out a knife and stab him with it. Danny gasps in shock as Bowsette looks in surprise. The two rolls along the ground for a bit before Kemple was over top Danny. He pulls the knife out and got ready to stab him again. Danny notices and quickly grabs it. He could already feel his ghost and star powers working together to heal him and give him the strength to keep the knife back. Finally, Bowsette reaches over and pulls Kemple off him. With a roar, she threw Kemple on a wall so hard, he went through it. Bowsette stomps forward and climbs through the hole. She picks up Kemple and threw a punch at his face, then his stomach and back on his face. She then marches up to the castle gates and threw him through them. She stomps up and growls at Kemple with flames coming out of the corners of her mouth. Don't you ever attack my boyfriend again. Or help me, that I will rip out your heart. She roars before walking away from the groaning prince. After eating, Danny and Bowsette were in her room, once again having section. Bowsette as she felt Danny move in her. Danny was really into it now. Bowsette could felt the energy from last time and it felt great. Oh, yes. That's the spot. Keep going. She Bowsette, just to let you know. I think you're better than Ms. Wiccan in everything. Danny said as he moved. Thank you. Oh. That really felt good. She said. Bowsette lay on her bed as Danny kept thrusting, making her BRST bounce with movement. Unlike most times, they decide to take it slow. Bowsette couldn't help but feel excited every time she and Danny did this. She was almost ready to beg Danny for a child but knew better. Danny then stood over her as he kept thrusting. Bowsette, I love you, Danny said. I love you too. She said, and they kiss. They kept having SEC until Danny leaks in her. Bowsette panted as Danny tries to keep himself from falling. Bowsette leans towards him and kisses him again. My turn. She said before pushing Danny on the bed and sat on top of him. Okay, just remember, Danny said. Don't worry. I know. She said and started to move. Danny as Bowsette did him. Danny was the one she wanted, and unlike Rachel, she wanted him to be willing to do this. She looks down at Danny before speaking her mind. Danny, after we are finished. I'm going to help you. She said. Huh? Danny asked. Your teacher is trying to take you against your will. I can't let that stand. I'm not going to kill her, but I will teach her a lesson. She said. Bowsette, Danny said. Please, you help me with my problem, it's only fair that I help you with yours. She said. Danny looks at her and sighs. Okay, thank you. He said. Good, now F me like crazy. She said. As you wish. Danny said and moved hard into her. 1 hour later. Bowsette pants as she lays on her bed with Danny next to her. Though was the second time they had rough SEC, she couldn't help but feel wonderful. She looks over Danny, who was sleeping after using all of his energy. Okay, we need to take a huge break. I could feel myself wishing to have his child. I don't want one. At least, not yet anyway. She thought. Bowsette looks up and smiles. Danny was one of kind. He cares for her, loves her, and knows what she wants. Her surprise was ready and she knew Danny would like it. Bowsette Fenton Kupa. I kind of like that name. She smiles. She looks over and felt something touch her PP, she smiles and pushes his PP inside but not moving after it was in. She leans forward and kisses him. Rest well my love. Things are going to change but this time for the better. Bowsette thought. Elsewhere. Rachel sat in an empty house and just stared at the ground. Why? Why did he leave me? She whispers. I thought we had something together. Why? Rachel looks up and it was clear that the shine in her eyes was dark. All she could think about is Danny. She woke 2 days ago and saw he was gone. At first, she thought Danny had gone to deal with a ghost but when he didn't return she tried to call him but he didn't answer. Worried that someone might have kidnapped him, she went out to find him. But after 2 days she started to think he ran away. The house was empty and she just sat on a broken couch in nothing but her underwear. She then recalls something else. The princess. She took him. Rachel said, getting angry. She took him. She repeated before standing up. She took him. She shouted. When I find her, I'll kill her. No one takes my man and gets away with it. Danny is mine. All mine. No one else will have him. Rachel shouted before panting. Yes, all mine. Safe in my arms, safe from those that want to hurt him. She whispers and wraps her arms around herself and sat down. Yes, in my arms. In my arms. In my arms. She repeated over and over again. Danny stood at the gates as Kamek stood next to him. They were both waiting on Bowsette, who said she had a surprise for Danny. Danny knew Bowsette was going to help him deal with Rachel but he wasn't sure how she would do that. Hey, Kamek. I don't mean to rush but she is done yet? Danny asked. The princess told me that her surprise had a few last-minute changes. But she'll be ready to go really soon. He said. Danny sighs and thought about Bowsette's surprise. He wasn't sure what it was but he could guess it had to be something good. Okay. All set. Danny and Kamek turns and saw Bowsette step up but she looked really different. Her crown was gone and her black dress was replaced with a black shirt, shorts, black heel boots, and a black jacket and she had her hair out of her ponytail. But what really shocks them is that her horns and tail were nowhere to be seen. She even took off her spike bands. Princess/Bowsette? The two asked surprise. What do you think? I should fit in the crowd now. She said. Danny could tell her new look was going for a bad girl vibe and he was just stunned. Kamek on the other hand. Princess. Wear your crown. Your dress. That was made for you. Kamek said. Listen here Kamek. We have been to Amity Park before. You've seen how they are dressed. I'm not going there as Princess Bowsette. She told him. Then who are you going as? Danny asked. Bowsette Kupa. I'm not a princess anymore. She said. But Kamek tries to say. Don't bother dude, if is there one thing I learned about her is that she can be very stubborn. Don't try to talk her out of it. Danny said before looking at Bowsette. You look nice. He said. Bowsette couldn't stop a blush from appearing in her face as she looks away. Thank you. She said. But how did you remove your horns and tail? Danny asked her. There was one thing I recall about stars, even when I was little. Sometimes I hear and see others making wishes on stars. And well, this seems a little childish but I wish on my star power to make me look like a normal girl. I have a few problems due to my horns and tail keep reappearing, but I was able to get it down. Bowsette explains. Doesn't sound childish to me. Remember, I still stargaze at some nights and even I can't help but to make a wish on a star every once in a while. Danny said. Bowsette smiles and walks up to Danny and kisses his cheek, making him blush. This fine and all, but how are you going to get to Amity Park? Kamek asked. If you don't mind Danny, I would like you to carry me there, Bowsette said. Are you sure? I mean, I only flew here because I wanted to get as far away as I could from my teacher, Danny asked. Bowsette nodded. If we leave by airship, people will know that I'm coming and I'm going to leave the castle. I better do it in a way that no one would see me. She explains. Danny nods. Plus, if the rebels knew she was leaving, they would attack the minute she was gone. All right. I take it you're ready to leave? Danny asked. Yes. She said. Danny turns into his ghost form and picks Bowsette up, bride style, which she blushes at. And don't worry, Kamek. I'll make sure she stays safe. Danny said. And I'm trusting you in watching over the castle when I'm gone, Bowsette added. Danny flew over the ocean and turned them back into view as Bowsette could feel the wind blow on her face and made her long hair flown through the wind. You know, you look really pretty with your hair out, Danny said. TTT, thank you. Bowsette blush. But I like it in your ponytail better, Danny told her. Bowsette smiles and leans up to kiss him, which he kisses back. That made Danny remember something. Her kingdom now knows about them being together, but no one in Amity Park does. Bowsette, as part of our agreement I never told anyone that we are boyfriend and girlfriend. So my parents don't know about us being together. They probably think we are close friends. Danny told her. Bowsette nods, understanding what Danny meant. We might as well tell them when we get there. She said. I just hope they not upset. Danny sighs. Once they enter Amity Park, Danny turns them invisible until he saw his house. He hides away and turns back into his human form. With a sigh and holding Bowsette's hand, Danny opens the door and steps inside. Mom. Dad. He calls out and the sound of feet was heard. Danny was caught off guard when his mother grabs him and hugs him with all her might as tears fell from her eyes. Danny just blinks before returning the hug, knowing how worried he must have made her. I'm sorry, Mom. He said. I'm just glad you are all right. She said as she broke to the hug. Sorry for leaving without telling you. I just need to get out of town for a few days. Danny said. After what you've been through, I'm not really mad at you, Maddie said before notices Bowsette. Hello, Mrs. Fenton, Bowsette said. Who wait? Are you the princess that took care of my son for a week? Maddie asked. Yep. And this time I'm here to help him with his problem after he helps me with mine. She said. Before Maddie could ask, a loud beeping noise was heard and Jack rushed into the room. Ghost. Maddie, quick. Get the. He stops when he notices Danny standing with her. Jack just drops his ghost weapon and hugs his son. Danny was caught off guard again but returned the hug. Glad to see you back, Jack said. Like I told Mom, I just need to get away from town for a few days. And I end up staying at Bowsette's place for that time. Danny told him. Jack turns and notices her. He quickly hugs her, catching her by surprise. Thank you. He said. You're welcome. She asked, looking at Danny. Danny just gave her a look that said, just go with it. And Bowsette returns the hug. After breaking, Danny clears his throat. Mom, Dad. There's another reason why I went to Bowsette's place. You see, during the week I had to stay there, Danny tries to say. We become boyfriend and girlfriend, Bowsette spoke up. Jack and Maddie was shocked to hear that. They had no idea their son was dating a princess. Really? Well, we're proud of you, Danny. Jack said and pats Danny's back. It might take us a while to get used to you dating a princess, but I got a feeling you two are doing just fine, Maddie said. Thanks, and we are, Danny said. After letting his parents know why he returns, he took Bowsette out to see the town before they would try to find Rachel. Bowsette just stood close and smiles. She might have been here a few times already, but she never got a tour of the place. It wasn't long before the two were walking through the park and Bowsette leans on his arm. Danny just smiles. Thank you, Danny. She said. For what? He asked. For everything. Seeing me as a person, helping deal with Chem, and trusting me to help you with your teacher. You really are the guy I love. Bowsette said. Danny just smiles and hugs her. He broke off and was about to say something when he was pushed away. Bowsette blinks as a blondie hair boy wearing a sports jacket stood in front of her. Hey, there babe. Name Baxter. You new in town? He said as if he was trying to flirt with her. Bowsette sighs, so this was the person Danny told her about. Knowing that she had to keep her princess status on the low, for now, she had to deal with him another way. Yes, I am. And my boyfriend was just showing me around. She said before helping Danny up. Wait. Fenton? Asked shock. Yes, we meet a week ago and we end up falling for each other. Danny loves me as a person and I love him the same. Bowsette said. Sorry, But you can't get every girl to like you just because you're a jock. Danny said. But he's a loser. A geek. Why would you date him? Asked shocked. Danny is none of those things. He's kind, funny, and a very sweet person. I don't care what he is, I care for who he is. Bowsette growls. Just stood there before shaking his head, refusing to believe that Fenton got a girl that was way above him. All right, Fenton whiskey. What did you blackmail her with? Asked growling. I didn't blackmail her with anything. We just meet and fell in love like anyone would do. Danny said. Started to walk up to Danny but Bowsette stood in his way. So you're jealous of Danny? She said. Me? Jealous? Ha. Fenton needs a girl in his league. And you're way above that. Laughs. Bowsette knew he had a point. As a princess, she was above Danny but she fell in love with him anyway. Her status as a princess means nothing to the one she loves. Then that means I'm above you as well. She said making look at her. I might not look like it, but I am rich. But Danny not dating me for my money. She said. Danny walks up and took her hand. Bowsette smiles and took it a step farther and kisses Danny on the lips which he returns. Just stood there in shock. We love each other the old-fashioned way. Not because there is one thing we like over the other. So, take a hike. She told him as they left the park. It was later that Danny took Bowsette to the Nasty Burger and, after explaining the reason for the name, Bowsette put her hair back into her ponytail. Danny got her some food and she was eating it with a smile on her face. Wow! Who knew something that is called nasty was so tasty? She said as Danny laughs. As I said, the name just stuck and it been going by it since, Danny said. Bowsette shoves the rest of her burger on her mouth before taking a drink. She leads back before letting out a loud burp that made everyone look at her. Excuse me. She said blushing. Oh trust me, Tucker was way worse. He once burped so loud everyone thought it was a ghost. Danny told him. Really? I only met him once and I really wasn't into knowing him at the time. But I did see he didn't want anything to do with following you to my home. Bowsette said. Well, maybe you'll get the chance. Just be careful with Sam. She keeps getting upset whenever I mention you. Danny said. Ugh, that girl and her jealousy. She lost her chance and needs to move on. Bowsette thought to herself. Well, I do know one thing. Now that I'm back, Ms. Wiccan might get after me again. Are you sure you want to do this? Danny said, then asked. Yes. Danny, you are my boyfriend and I can't let this slide. You are smart enough to know being in a relationship with a teacher is a bad idea. Besides, she did you. That's something not even I can stand. Bowsette said. Whoa, 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 back up. You were Donnie. Danny and Bowsette turns and saw Valerie Gray standing in front of their table with a shocked look on her face. Bowsette? This is Valerie. Valerie, this is my girlfriend Bowsette. Danny said. Bowsette looks at her and smiles. Nice to meet you. Danny told me all about you. She said. Thanks. Valerie said before looking at Danny. You did? She asked again. Danny sighs and told Valerie what happened 2 days ago and how Bowsette wanted to help him with it after helping her with her own problem. Valerie just listens and sighs. Sorry you had to go through that. I always thought it was strange for Ms. Wiccan looking at you like some lovesick person. Didn't know that she went so far to kidnap you and do you. She said. Yeah, it left me scared for the past 2 days. I had to get out of town. I went to Bowsette's place because she told me that I could visit any time I want. Danny said. Valerie looks at Bowsette and nods. She understands. After all, she and Danny dating for a while before she broke off for his safety. From what she could see, they were both happy. Thanks for taking care of him. I was worried when I heard he ran away. She said to her. When he showed up, he was nothing like the boy I first met. But now, he's ready to face his teacher once again and this time I'll be there. Bowsette said. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Danny, Ms. Wiccan had disappeared from town, and from what you told me, she probably out looking for you. Valerie said. Danny sighs, knowing what that meant. Once news gets out I'm back, she'll be coming back as well, Danny said. And she won't hurt you this time, Bowsette said and place a hand on his. Danny smiles as Valerie nods. She wasn't going to let Danny deal with this alone. He might have Bowsette to back him up but that doesn't mean she could give a hand. Rachel sat on the couch, staring at nothing. She then blinks and stood up. He's home. She said and start to walk, not bother to put her clothes on. He's home. And he'll be safe in my arms. She said again. In my arms, in my arms, in my arms. Danny and Bowsette walk through town some more and soon run into Sam and Tucker. Danny. They shouted and hugged him. Hey, guys, Danny said, glad to see them again. Where did you go? Tucker asked. Yeah, you just disappeared for 3 days, Sam added. Danny sighs and told them what happened to him. In the end, both of his friends were shocked. She F you. Sam shouted. Dude. Please tell me you told someone. Tucker asked. I did. My parents know about it and I'm sure the police do as well. Danny said and sighs. So why did you leave? Sam asked. He needed to get away. His teacher left him so scared and unsure, he had to get out of town. Bowsette spoke up. Both Tucker and Sam turns to her and raises an eyebrow. Danny? Who's this? Sam asked trying not to get upset. I guess your new look really can fool people, Danny said to Bowsette. And people can't figure out that dannyphantom is dannyphantom, Bowsette said shaking her head. So, how have you two been since you left my castle? She asked them. Wait a minute. You're the princess that had us sent home. Tucker said placing it together. Indeed. You may call me Bowsette Koopa. Bowsette said. Danny, what is she doing here? Sam asked him. She's going to help me with Ms. Wiccan, Danny said. Really? Why? Tucker asked. Danny looks away, not sure how to answer that. Bowsette grabs his hand and nods. Danny took a deep breath and looks at his friends. Tucker, Sam, during the week I stay at Bowsette's castle, Bowsette learned how the town was treating me, and she wanted me to feel like a person, and well, Danny started to say and looks away. Bowsette couldn't really blame him. She sighs and looks at them. We end up falling for each other. We're dating. She said. Tucker was shocked as Sam growls. Bowsette notices and looks at Sam. You're dating her? Sam almost yelled. Look, guys, she not bad guy as I thought. She was lonely and she wanted someone to talk to. We just end up getting to know each other and we end up falling for each other. We didn't tell anyone because we weren't sure if it was a good idea. Danny explains. And I was the one that said we should keep it between ourselves, Bowsette added. Sam's eye twitch and Bowsette sighs. She had to get this out of the way. Danny? Do you mind if I talk to Sam alone? She asked. You am sure? Danny said confused. Bowsette smiles and kisses his cheek, making Sam's face turn red in anger. Bowsette walks up to Sam and grabs her. She drags Sam away as Danny and Tucker watch. So, what are we going to about our teacher? Tucker asked. I don't know yet, Danny said. Bowsette pulls Sam to a different part of town before looking at her. Alright, Sam. You better listen real good because I'm not going to repeat myself. Bowsette said growling. Yeah, and why should I? Sam growls back. Danny might not notices but I do. You don't like the fact that we are dating. I know that look anywhere. You're jealous. She said. I'm not jealous. You just force him to date you. Sam said. BS. I already had to deal with a stupid prince that didn't understand I didn't like him. And yes you are. I love Danny and I would never force him into dating me. Bowsette growls. You try to take over the town. Sam shouted. After how this town treats him, I have already marked as an unworthy place for the Koopa Kingdom. Bowsette said. You forced Danny into loving you and I'm going to prove it. Sam yelled. I can't believe you. You're Danny's friend but you keep getting jealous over another girl liking him. Maybe if you stop denying that you don't like him, maybe he'll be yours but no. You refuse to start a relationship with because you're scared. Bowsette said. Scared? I'm not scared. Sam yelled. Yes, you are. Heck, even I refuse to believe that my kingdom said I like Danny more than a friend. We decide to stop beating around the brush and straight ask each other if we wanted to become boy and girlfriend. Bowsette yelled back. Yeah, right. Why would Danny love a freak like you? Sam said. Bowsette growls and before she could stop herself, she slams Sam on the closest building and growls. Danny told me about the A-listers and the things they did. I met Dash earlier and from what I just heard, you're acting like them. Bowsette shouted. Sam tried to get her breath back as Bowsette slammed her so hard she had the breath knock out of her. And one last thing, if you keep being jealous then you might do what Ms. Wiccan did. And that's the last thing he wants to happen to him again. Bowsette said and lets go of Sam. You had your chance and it's gone now. You knew Danny wasn't going to stay single forever. You had all the time to tell him but you chose not to. Face it, Sam, you waited too long and lost. If you are his friend, then you should be happy for him. Not trying to think of ways to break us up. Bowsette said and turns away from her. Danny doesn't love you. Sam choked out, making her stop. You're just nobody that cares for no one but yourself. You claim to love him. I don't see it. Sam said. Sam, shut up, Bowsette said. What? Sam shouted. Just shut up. This isn't going away. This isn't a dream. It's real and you don't want to accept it. Remember what I told you back at the dungeon of my castle? You don't know me. You have no idea how it is to have everyone treat you like you're a monster. Danny doesn't see a monster. He sees a lonely girl that needed someone to talk to. We fell in love and that is that. You need to accept it, and if you don't, you just be like Rachel. Bowsette said and walks away. Sam had no idea how to counter that. After hearing what she did to Danny and still recalls how she was obsessed she was being with Danny, was she heading down the same road? Danny sighs as he waited for Bowsette and Sam to return. Tucker stood next to him asking how he got Bowsette to love him. Tucker, if you are hoping if she has a sister then you are out of luck. Bowsette is an only child. Danny told him. Ah, man, he groans. Danny sighs again and was about to speak before he heard a voice he was hoping not to hear again. Danny? Danny turns and was shocked to see his former teacher walking up to him in her underwear, not caring that people were staring at her. You back? I miss you. Rachel said and started to walk up to him. Danny wanted to run but took a deep breath. He had to do this. He then faces Rachel and told Tucker to step back. Rachel, we need to talk. He said. You said my name. That makes me happy. She said. Danny could tell this was not the same woman he met when she first started working at Casper High. Rachel, I ran away because you scare me. You force yourself on me and didn't think of my feelings. You F me. Danny said. No, we were practicing. I wanted you to be ready. Rachel said. Rachel, I already have a girlfriend. Danny said. Rachel looks shocked before she giggles. Oh, that's funny. Come now, don't joke like that. She said smiling. Danny could tell that the smile was fake and something happened to her that made him on edge. Tuck, you might want to get out of here, Danny said. Tucker didn't argue. Even if he was seeing a woman in her underwear, he knew something was wrong with her. Be careful, dude. She's not a ghost. Tucker said and ran. I know, Danny said and faced her. Come, let's head home. I can't wait to have you in my arms again. Rachel said. Rachel, I know you don't want to hear this but it's what I really feel about you, Danny said and sighs. I don't love you like that. You're my teacher, I'm a student. I can't date any teachers as it's against the law. You are a very nice teacher and you are appealing but it won't work between us. I'm thankful you stop the bullies and make the teachers do their jobs but trying to start a relationship with me is going to undo your hard work. I'm 14, you're 28, I don't like you like this. I think it better if we just be friends. Danny said. Friends, Rachel said shock. Friends? Friends. She shouted before showing she was holding a knife. We are more than friends. I did all that because you were the one I wanted. You are my husband. And I'm going to carry your child. Rachel shouted. You're not pregnant. Danny shouted. What? She asked. You wanted me to impregnate you when you F me. I have this extra power called the star power. It knew what I did and didn't want. No matter how much you F me that night, my star power knew I wasn't ready to be a father. You're not pregnant. Danny shouted. Rachel felt her stomach and was shocked. She wasn't pregnant. How was that even possible? Rachel, please, just stop this, Danny tried to say before Rachel rushes up to him and stabs him in the heart. If I can't have you, then no one can. But I'll join you soon. She said as Danny gags. Get your hands off him. Rachel was then knocked away as Bowsette slams into her. She turns to Danny and saw the knife in his chest. Danny! She shouted and rushed over as BLD tickle from his mouth. Bowsette, he tries to say before falling over. Bowsette gasps as she knees down and could hear his heartbeat started to fade. No, no. Stay with me. Danny. Bowsette said but saw the life leave his eyes. Bowsette felt the tears form in her eyes as she lowers her head. She then growls as she stood up and undid her spell, changing back into her princess look. How dare you, she growls before turning around to face Rachel. I'm going to make you suffer. She yelled before slamming Rachel into the nearest building. You took the one person that saw me for who I am. I promise him Danny I won't kill you but I will break every bone in your body. Bowsette shouted before punching Rachel in the face. Bowsette then threw Rachel away from her and roars. She charges at her and slams into her again. Rachel tried to attack back, but Bowsette just took the blows with no effect happening to her. Bowsette threw her into the ground and started to beat on her. Sam had run forward and saw Danny on the ground with the knife sticking out. She gasps and rushes up to him. She saw he wasn't breathing and tried to help him. She looks up and saw Bowsette beating on Rachel and notices how upset she was. She turns back to Danny and pulls out her phone. She started to dial 911 but was stopped as Bowsette was tossed off of Rachel. Rachel stood up and saw Sam near Danny. She growls and started to rush at her. But Bowsette slams into Rachel again and once again started to beat on her. Sam ends up calling Danny's parents instead knowing that they were more of a help. Bowsette picks Rachel up and pulls back a fist. She threw it into Rachel's stomach and she was sent flying into another building and even went through it. Bowsette stomps up and looks through the hole. She reaches down and grabs Rachel by the neck and held the teacher up. Rachel Wiccan, you let your love for someone take control without thinking of his feelings. As I said, I won't kill you, but you were at the end of my fury. She said before tossing her to the side. Bowsette turns and saw Sam next to Danny and walks over to them. She knees down and touches the side of his face. Bowsette could felt her tears appear and Sam was shocked. Bowsette was crying over Danny. Those weren't fake tears. Bowsette then picks up Danny and started to walk away. Bowsette walks towards the park and lay him down on the ground. She looks at the knife and carefully takes it out. She tosses it to the side and sighs. She closes her eyes and held up her hands. They started to glow before placing them on Danny's chest. She knew what she was about to wish for was impossible but she had to try. Oh great star power that lies with us. Hear my wish and bring the one I love back to this world. I wish for Danny to live again with his ghost powers. She thought and felt her star power reach out to Danny's. His star power was still there but it was a bit weak. The minute Bowsette's star power touches his, both star powers started to shine brightly. Bowsette could feel his heart beating again. It started off slow before picking up. Danny? She asked getting close to him. Danny started to open his eyes and look around. He soon saw Bowsette and was confused. Bowsette? What happened? He asked. Bowsette couldn't stop the tears and cry again as she hugs him. Danny just sat there before everything caught up to him. Bowsette? Where's Rachel? He asked. She's still alive but she won't be bugging you anymore. She said. Danny was confused but returns the hug. Bowsette was very happy, now to see where things will go from here. A few days had passed and Rachel was arrested and fired from Casper High. But to ensure that the school didn't go back to their old ways, Bowsette appears in her real form to give the teachers a fair warning. If you got back to ignoring the students that are bully then you all might as well pack your things. Because I have eyes and ears here to tell me what you are doing and I will tell others. And the teachers did what she said. Bowsette ends up staying with Danny at his place during that time after telling his parents what happened and how she brought him back. The two even went on their first date. First, Danny took her to a restaurant then the movies which they sat close to each other. Bowsette was very happy that Danny was alive and by her side again. She also knew she had to return to her kingdom soon. But she didn't want to leave Danny. Danny awoke the next morning and looked down at his scar. He couldn't lie, he thought he wasn't able to die due to being half-ghost. And since it was a normal knife, Danny guesses that he was so in shock, he didn't think about turning into his ghost form. He also recalls seeing on the news how Rachel was taken to prison. She might have F him and try to start a relationship with him, but he couldn't help but feel sorry for her. He sighs and grabs a fresh pair of clothes. Bowsette was heading home soon and he wanted to at least say goodbye to her. Danny got in the shower and started to wash his hair. He then felt a pair of arms wrap around him and looks behind to see Bowsette in the shower with him. "Bowsette?" Danny asked, surprise. "Sorry, but I missed this," she said, laying her head on his back. "But we're at my house. We have a higher chance of getting caught," Danny said, though he could tell she didn't care. "Please. Just one before I leave?" she asked. Danny sighs and rises his hair off before turning around to face her. "Okay," he said, then kissed her. The two end up kisses each other for the next 5 minutes before Bowsette backs away a bit. She widens her legs a bit and nodded at Danny. Danny nods back and carefully places PP inside her PP, making her a bit. Once Danny was fully in, he started thrusting slowly as he pushes her on the wall. Bowsette slowly as Danny moves in and out, making slapping sounds due to the water. He then pulls back a bit and Bowsette turn around and place her hands on the wall. Danny then thrusts again. Danny couldn't get over how amazing she was. He was worried about becoming addicted to it, but Bowsette understood. Plus it was their special moment. Bowsette couldn't help herself at times. Luckily she knew that they were ready to have a child and their star power kept them protect even without protection. Danny moved a bit harder as Bowsette could felt him hit her WMB over and over again. "Danny." She "Yes." He asked. "Go in fully. Break the barrier. Go inside my WMB." She said. "Are you sure?" he asked, thinking it might hurt her. "Yes, I'm all yours, do what you want to me." She said Danny signs and started to push himself as deep as he can. He felt the tip and push harder. Bowsette was pressed on the wall and looks as if Danny was squeezing her between the wall and himself. Soon, Danny felt himself enter her WMB and Bowsette could barely stop herself from screaming. Danny quickly covers her mouth as the two could barely move. After a few minutes, Danny uncovers her mouth and looks at her. "Ah, F. That really hurts," she said. Danny looks down at it and didn't see any BLD coming from them, meaning that they didn't hurt each other too badly. "I think we should stop," Danny said, not wanting to hurt her anymore. "Just hang on a second. Let the pain fade first," she said, trying not to hiss in pain. "It. I should have thought this through. Ugh, that really hurts. I can't move," she thought. Danny stood still and saw Bowsette breathing heavily. She was really in pain just from him entering her WMB. He tries to move a bit, but they both hiss as he stops. "Ah, it. Bowsette said. "Oh, man. We might SCK like this for a while," Danny said. Bowsette carefully pushes herself up before leading back on Danny, who almost fell backward. He was able to keep himself up and held on to her. They face each other and decide to kiss to get the pain off their minds. But as the kiss, Danny started thrusting again, causing them both to keep kissing as they try to ignore the pain they were feeling. But they couldn't keep it up with air. They broke and Danny stops moving. "God damn it. Bowsette F hell." Danny agrees. The two lovers just stood there for the next 10 minutes trying to carefully pull themselves out. Danny was able to exit the WMB and stops as they both try to catch their breaths. "Okay, let's not do that again," Danny said. "Agree," Bowsette said. Danny then moved again and they were happy to feel that the pain didn't return. They kept it up until Danny leaks in her. After that, they just kiss again until Danny decides to get out of the shower. Back at the Koopa Kingdom, the rebels had noticed things have been quiet and they were having a hard time understanding that. Ever since the princess came back and forced them to retreat, she'd been quiet. One of the rebels had sneaked into the castle and discovered that Bowsette was hanging around a boy and learned it was the famous dannyphantom. He even heard that the two were together and reported back to the others. However, one member of the rebels heading towards the deepest part of the Koopa Kingdom and saw Skeleton's guard standing as he near the gate. They open and he walks inside before bowing. It appears the rumors are true. Your counterpart has found someone to love, he said. Is that so? A dark and rattle voice said that almost sound like Bowsette. Yes, we have learned she has chosen dannyphantom to be with her. The guard said. Dannyphantom? The one between life and death. Interesting. The voice said. It steps out of the shadow showing look like Bowsette but had a skull covering the top half of its face, bone ribs on its black dress, its chest and its shoulder looked to be completely white and its arms and legs were made of bones. This was Dry Bowsette, Princess Bowsette dry bone counterpart. She walks up and lifts the rebel face. You done well. Now for your reward, she said, and kiss it. The rebel tries to break free but couldn't. Soon its skin melted off and all was left were bones and fell apart as they hit the ground. Dry Bowsette smiles before placing a hand over them. Her hand started to glow as the bones reform and the eye sockets gain yellow orbs. It looks at her and bows. How may I serve you, princess? It said in a rattling voice. Dry Bowsette just smirks before laughing, her plan coming together as she thought. Once she gives the orders, she sat back down and started to think. Dannyphantom, there isn't a single person that does know about that boy. Still, I can't blame my skin counterpart. He's very handsome. Dry Bowsette said. She looks up and smirks once again. I wonder how good of a kisser he is. Maybe he could be a great member of my army. Maybe I can have him be my king, she said before laughing. Once my counterpart's star power in my gasps, I will have all the power to rule this worthless planet. The age of the Dry Bones Kingdom has begun. Dry Bowsette laughs. It was time for Bowsette to leave and she was standing outside with Danny as she smiles at Danny's family. Thank you so much for letting me stay here, she said, and bowed to them. Bowsette really likes Danny's family. His father might be odd but he cares and loves his family very much. She could also match him in eating, which confuses the family except for Danny. His mother was very kind and she couldn't help but feel as she was her mother. She also likes how Maddie was able to fight. Jazz was kind of fun to be around. Jazz had told her she wanted a sister and Bowsette felt the same. The two did things they never had a chance to do when they were younger. It's no problem, dear, you're welcome back here any time, Maddie said. She a real keeper, Danny boy. Let us know when you two decide to marry. Jack smirks. Dad! Danny shouted as his face turns red. Bowsette also blushes as she did want to marry him when they are older. Jazz rolls her eyes and hugs Bowsette. Thanks for taking care of Danny, she said. Bowsette hugs her back with a smile. Can't wait for you to become my sister-in-law, she whispers, causing Bowsette to blush again. Danny took Bowsette's hand and they walk off. Once they reach the edge of town, Danny went ghost and picked Bowsette up bride style. He was about to fly into the air when he hears someone shout his name. Danny! Wait! Danny looks back and saw Sam rushing up to them on her scooter. Sam! What are you doing here? He asked. I need to speak to Bowsette, please, she said. Danny looks at her and sighs. What is it, Sam? Bowsette said, staying in his arms. I want to say I'm sorry, Sam said. Danny raises an eyebrow but Bowsette knew what she meant. You're right. I don't know you. I thought you were just going to take Danny away and I mean we will never him again. I thought you didn't care about anyone but yourself, but when I saw you crying over Danny when he died, I could tell those tears were real. I'm sorry. Sam said. Bowsette sighs and nods at Danny to put her down. Danny does and Bowsette hugs Sam. Sam, try to get to know the person before jumping to conclusions. It will turn out bad even if you are right. She said before breaking the hug. Bowsette, one last thing. Take care of the goofball for me. Sam said. Bowsette smirks as Danny glares at Sam for calling him that, missing what she meant. Don't worry. He's in good hands as well as everything else. She whispers to her. Sam blinks before she blushes as Bowsette walks back to Danny. With a smile, Danny picks her up and they flew off. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 4. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and author Phantom Fan 21 on FANFICTIONnet. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.